My name is Alma White and I am married with 3 children. I live in Northern Ireland and I am a classroom assistant who works in a special needs school. Caleb was so cute. He was really fun-loving, really giggly. We kind of knew early on that he wasn't quite hitting the milestones that his sisters did. His communication was quite poor, and when he was about 2.5, we knew then that we needed to access an assessment for special needs, and so that's exactly what we did. It was a difficult journey. I was actually pregnant with my 3rd child when I started to notice that Caleb was maybe not giving us eye contact and he seemed really distant. And so I kind of pursued getting an assessment done early on, and we were fortunate enough to be in a position that we could do that. We lived in America at the time, so we were able to get an assessment quite quickly. And so Caleb was actually diagnosed with complex needs. And then we took our journey from living in America back to Northern Ireland. So Caleb was about, 2.5, just over 2.5 when we moved, and we came back to be closer to family. So it was a difficult time for us because we moved countries. It was, a completely fresh start. Education-wise, we were kind of not really as familiar with the school system, but Caleb started a special needs school from the age of 3. He went to nursery. Now Caleb is 16 and we're on the other end of this journey. So yes, it's been a process. I think life has become more scary. I always knew we were going to get to this point. I kind of worried as he reached his teen years. A lot of families look forward to their 16th birthday of their son or their daughter, and to be quite honest, I dreaded it because I knew we were getting to a point where his life was going to change, and the scariness of his future kind of comes into play. You start to worry about what is he going to do, where is he going to be, what provision is there for him. Caleb needs a lot of support in the outside world. He's fortunate enough to be in a very nurturing school 5 days a week, but I know when he reaches 19, it's a steep cliff edge, and that's going to change, and that's quite concerning. I have a lot of hopes and dreams for Caleb. He is such a happy young person who just wants to be accepted, and he has quite a lot of anxiety, so he really needs a lot of support with that. So it's difficult to know what the future holds for Caleb, because in Northern Ireland provision can be limited for those with complex needs, and I know a lot of families are in our position as well. And my hopes would be that he would be able to access provision that would make him happy and flourish and fulfilled in his life, and that's all I really want for him. My fear list is a lot longer. I worry for him all the time. He's not able to travel independently, so he needs one-on-one support. I worry that wherever he's going to end up, whether it's further education or not, depending on what the provision will be at the time, I just worry all the time. You never stop worrying. And I just have fears that there's not going to be anything for Caleb when he reaches 19. One of my biggest fears, and I think a lot of parents will actually relate to this, is what happens to him when myself and his dad aren't here anymore. Who's going to take care of him? Who's going to love him like we do? Is that going to change his sisters' lives? Because you don't want it to be a burden on them. And that fear is real. The fear that you don't know who's going to take care of him, or where he's going to be. Not being able to live alone and having to trust people. Through this whole journey since Caleb was 3, we've had to trust people that we don't know, putting him on a bus, sending him to school. A special needs school is amazing, but you don't get to have that interaction like you would in a mainstream school, where you get to pick up your children and you get to see staff every day. And it's a real fear as he gets older as to what is going to happen. And yeah, that's something that I dread to think about.